This is Moitreyee Goswami. Thank you for inviting me to this wonderful live session. And I think it is going to be of lots of use for startups and MSMEs like us. And so for those who don't know me, I'm Moitreyee Goswami. I founded two startups, co-founded two startups basically. One is into the edtech domain, one is into the IT domain. So the one into the edtech domain is Zucate. So it is into AR edtech for B2B training. So here we develop B2B content for AR industrial training. And we mostly work on augmented reality. And the other is by the name Webbtechy, wherein we do website development, app development, digital marketing, growth marketing, SEO for companies, startups, and we have catered to almost 165, done almost 165 projects for close to 90 clients till date in the last 2 years, and are growing wonderfully. And thank you, Suhasini, for being one of our clients also. So also,
Yes.
so yeah, so would like to understand something about marketing today, one which you are already expert in. So let's start the session for today.
Thank you. And for those of us who are joining us for the first time, I will also introduce myself. So I am Suhasini Kirloskar, and I am the founder of MarketAxis Consulting. We provide marketing strategy and services and corporate training for clients in the B2B space. So the sectors we work in, a lot of technology clients, including software, AI, data analytics, all of that. We also work in the industrial sector. We are finding interesting things happening in marketing in the industrial sector now. And we work with other sectors like consulting and some sectors like even financial services and so on. Before starting MarketAxis Consulting, I was chief of marketing at GS Lab, an IT services company. And before that, for about 5 years, I was heading the office of UK Trade and Investment in Pune, which is a British government department. So I've had this kind of experience of the British government working style and in the corporate sector, as well as an entrepreneur. In MarketAxis Consulting over the last, almost 7 years, we've had a chance to work with a lot of small, mid-size and larger companies. We've had a chance to see what works, what really delivers results in marketing. And this knowledge series, which we have started now, which is the B2B Growth Essentials knowledge series, which is a we are doing like a kind of an intense program, and then we're doing these kind of knowledge webinars, a variety of things. So this is really to help a lot of people benefit from what we know works well. We have seen it work well somewhere. We have seen best practices, and we are trying to bring that to more companies, to help more companies to drive growth. So we are, if you ask us, do we do digital marketing or do we do whatever old style marketing? No, we do whatever it takes. We do whatever it takes to help you to grow. And that's what this knowledge series and this course is all about. So that's a little bit about me. And with that, yes, let's start talking about what we are discussing today, which is growth through sales channels and business ecosystems.
So since today we are discussing about sales channels and marketing ecosystem, so let me ask you, put up the first question, like for us startups. So why should startups and MSMEs actually look at sales channels and marketing ecosystems for their growth, basically for their marketing growth or whatever kind of growth in their clients or in their sales? So why should they actually look at it?
Yeah, that's of course the first thing one should think about. So usually people start selling on their own, with the founder sells, or they have a little a sales team that sells. Of course, growth is the main route to go towards. I mean, sales is the main route or the essential for growth. You can't grow without sales. So, however much you can sell. And I have to say that most small to mid-sized companies do face a lot of challenges in this area. Okay. So, what happens is that having a channel strategy, having an ecosystem strategy can help you to break out of those challenges and actually embrace, go on the path of growth. Now, the thing is that today is absolutely the right time to think about sales through channels and ecosystem. Customer expectations from sales and service channels are changing very rapidly. And it's important for us as sellers to evolve. Okay. And we'll discuss what that means. And so as a result of that, as sellers, we are under pressure to achieve growth and be very customer centric, give very high levels of service, but at the same time, minimize our selling costs. So it really takes some smart working. And that's why in this market, it's creating additional sales channels has become like imperative to remain relevant. Okay. So let me explain what that means. It's become important to have a multi-channel sales strategy. Today, you know, you need to have an inside sales team, somebody who may be setting appointments for your important people. You may be needing to be on e-commerce platforms, marketplaces. You may be needing to have your own app or be on somebody else's app. You may require distributors, retailers, dealers who are actually on the, you know, who have shops on the street, high street and so on. So you may need to be on many different channels, and having this multi-channel strategy has become important because, you know, certain types of interactions are valued more by our buyers. Some buyer really values the fact that they can walk in and touch and feel a product. Some buyer really values the fact that, you know, they can buy online very easily. You have to understand which one is important in your market, and you need to consider the returns versus costs to of each of these. So you know, I'll just come to some specific advantages of having like channel partners. You could have channel partners who have their own network and they have this trust, they enjoy the trust of that target market. Say you're trying to sell to, say, retailers or to doctors or to pharma companies or whatever, you may be able to find a partner who already has the trust and the rapport and the networks and the contacts. So that saves you that amount of time to build the trust. And you could enhance your market reach. You could reach a lot of markets without just adding sales teams and costs and salary costs. So that way, a good channel program can help you achieve speed and scale. And, you know, you may be able to find specialized partners who can do like training or implementation or post-sales service support as well. So those are some of the reasons we should be thinking about channels and ecosystems. Ecosystem is a slightly different concept, but yeah, this is a time to be thinking about these things.
So a lot of digitalization has already happened, especially during the pandemic, after the pandemic. So, and the concept of marketing ecosystem has really taken off. So can you please throw some light on what exactly marketing ecosystems are and how are they actually benefiting the smaller companies and the bigger companies as well?
Yeah, so this is a topic I love, and I think I've spoken about it on a previous live. So for some people, it may be a repetition, but when you can find associated or related products or services which you go together they go to deliver a value to the customer. That is what I consider to be an ecosystem strategy. So for example, there is a marketplace. You know, I put out a product on the marketplace. That's very simple. I have a product, the marketplace is my channel, it's my e-commerce channel. And so that is very simple. However, if I have some technology that is in the background, for example, I'm just giving you an example. Suppose, you know, someone needs to purchase some kind of an equipment, and my technology helps them to understand how that technology works. Say, I'm just giving an example. It helps to show the working of that equipment, or it helps to understand which equipment is right for their application. So maybe I develop some very cool application or technology like that, maybe based on AI or whatever. And if I have a understanding or a tie-up with the platform, with the sales platform, and I say, okay, every time somebody chooses to watch this kind of a video or see this kind of a 3D demo or whatever it is, you pay me a little bit of revenue, you know. So that becomes, now I'm in the background. My product is not for sale on the platform, but I am facilitating sales on the platform. I'm making it more easy for the end buyer to decide what's right for them. And I'm earning a revenue every time something happens. So this is just one example of ecosystem partners. If you can find ways to sell each time something happens, because together these products or services are really delivering a very good value, making things very seamless for the end buyer. Those are more and more interesting, aspects that we are seeing today. If you have a cool software, you may be able to find hardware or a device manufacturer who wants to integrate that. If you are a device manufacturer, you may be able to find a software. So, I mean, these are just some of the examples of ecosystems which are a little different from just sales channels.
So a lot of companies basically service either through, either themselves or they have dealers in between. So what do you think, customers like to get service from dealers or whether they like the companies to service them? That's a question actually even I want to understand, because a lot of times people keep on spreading their businesses to franchisees and dealers and the service quality differs. So what exactly is the perspective from the buyer's side?
Very, very, very important to consider the buyer. Finally, the buyer, customer is king, yes, and queen. So I'll share my screen. I hope that works. So when it comes to the buyer's perspective, here are some things that buyers may have in mind and you need to consider from the buyer's point of view. Okay, these are just some things that the buyer might say. The buyer might say it's very important for the field sales to understand my business and industry trends. So the buyer expects someone to visit, someone to consult them, provide some kind of ideas about product, service, business, industry trends. That's something that they expect. Is that the kind of market you are in? For example, you're providing, say, consulting services or digital transformation services, and people look at you or look to you that you will come there and provide this kind of business and industry trends. That is something you need to consider when you consider what kind of channel. Or another kind of buyer may say, everything sales and after sales service should be digital and seamless. I don't want anybody to come over. I don't want anybody to call me. I want that I should be able to get the product at the, just by like clicking a few buttons, and even after sales service should be just equally digitalized and seamless. That could be a different type of situation. Some other market or some other type of customer may want 24/7 online support or live chat. That this is very important for me. You are giving me some cloud hosting or you're giving me some IT infrastructure. I want zero downtime, and this is very important for me. So then that's a different thing. Will your channel be able to do that? Somebody else may want a very good network. So for example, I have offices all over India. I want to say tie up with a fleet company, or I want to tie up with a taxi company, and I want that they should be all India presence. They should have offices everywhere. They should have warehouses everywhere, whatever. So for some people, the network may be very important. Okay. And for another type of buyer, which is what we all are today, all channels should know me and my transaction history. Now, this is something we expect. If you are calling someone and saying, hey, I want to check about my account, I want to check about my order, you expect updated information to be there with the person, with that company, with the brand, whether you are talking to them on a live chat or on a phone call, or you are walking into their branch, or anything, right? So that's where the whole customer data has to be very centralized. There's that is also important. So now these are some of the expectations that your customers may have, and you may then want to segment them based on these kind of information. You could segment your buyers as being, one could be need high touch and strategic inputs. Like I gave the example, they want you to come over and talk to them about the industry and what their competitors are doing and peers are doing. The other one is medium touch and flexibility. I don't expect you to come and like have a cup of coffee with something, but yeah, you still have to like deliver the product physically to my office, and you still have to kind of raise an invoice, and I'm going to do a bank transfer. So there is some medium touch and flexibility. Whereas the last is, I do not want you to be there. I want just the transaction to be very, very smooth and very, very seamless and possibly completely digital. So then once you segment the buyers according to their needs, you could see then there is a matrix that we discuss in our longer workshop about how to decide which buyer is valuable. And based on their needs and based on how valuable they are for you, you have to decide your channel strategy.
My next question would be around how should businesses actually go on picking up channel partners? Because a lot of times channel partners become competitors at a later stage, because I don't know, it has happened with us with our previous experiences. A lot of people actually got to know how the business works, and then they became competitors for us. So what should be the checklist, and how should people go about actually finding out channel partners? What checks and processes should be in place?
Right. So we'll talk about how to find channel partners which help to sell. The problem that you had, which is more of an, ethics and integrity issue, that we'll discuss also. You could start by defining your channel objectives. Are you looking for a lot of coverage? Are you looking for focus targeting? Somebody who has network in 50 cities, or somebody who knows one particular specialized market segment really well? So that also helps to define what kind of profile it is. Are you looking for someone who will help you to manage specific touch points? Like, for example, I just need a channel partner who has a physical presence because some of my customers want this physical presence. Or I want a channel partner who has a very good online presence because that's where I'm lacking. So it is a specific touch point. Or I want a channel partner who knows how to do stuff on Amazon because I don't know how to do stuff on Amazon. So there's a specific touch point that you're wanting the channel for. You also need to define what capabilities you're looking for: technical, financial, locational in the sense whether you want them to have offices, warehouse space, retail outlets, whatever it is, and where. Okay. What kind of team you want them to have, like sales team, support team, 24/7 support, all those things you need to define. And the most important part, what network do you want them to have? Like, do you want them to have some existing customers who are relevant to you, contacts who are relevant to you? So these are the kind of capabilities that you have to define. And then what will they deliver? Will it be sales and service, sales or service, both sales and service? That's also a decision you need to take. And very important point is, if this is important for you, what you said also, that if people are dealing with your channel partner, will they still know your brand? That's very important. That's a very strategic level decision that you need to take. That is it that they are the channel partner is so well entrenched that people come and buy from them, and your brand is going to kind of go through their network, but no one is going to actually recognize your brand? Or is it that they're going to in some way promote and help to build your brand? So these are some of the decisions we take. And then we need to decide the ideal customer profile, the ideal channel partner profile. So the ideal channel partner profile should have capabilities that are suited to your product or service. So you have some very automotive kind of product, somebody who has that kind of experience, automotive mechanical experience. You have a very IT product, somebody who has implementation experience or support experience. I mean, depending on what product. Should have an existing customer base in your target market. This is very important because you're mainly using channel partners for reach, and should have the sales capability or the team that you need. As we discussed, we don't want to endlessly add salespeople to our team, and should be willing to commit to the effort you need. Now, when it comes to channel partners becoming competitors, yeah, that's an unfortunate situation. Probably maybe some good legal contracts at the start, although I have to say we can't be running to the court for every business dispute, because that would take away too much of our time and energy. So probably having some checks and balances, and I don't know, staying in touch with the end customer. I think that is probably a good strategy, that we stay more in touch with the end customer. It's important to have our reach or our rapport with the end customer, at all times. So some of our industrial customers, for example, one thing that we are advising right now is that they've been selling through a channel, and if what you said was to happen by chance, if any of those channel partners were to develop capabilities in manufacturing and started manufacturing a competing product, they would actually be quite vulnerable, because the entire relationship of the end user is with the channel partner.
Right.
So what we are advising now is that in your packaging, you start putting like something like a QR code or a barcode, and the end user has, with a message that your warranty gets activated after you scan this. So that way, if the person scans the QR code, enters a little form, just a small form, maybe name, organization, email, that's enough. That way you at least come to know where your product is going, and you have that contact. And that contact you can use, whether it's just to send a Diwali greeting, whether it's to inform them about next product launch, or whether it's to, cross sell or upsell them something. That's there with you. So that way you're less vulnerable to, like the channel partner taking them and kind of running away.
Well said. So Suhasini, a lot of startups actually, what happens is that they are very averse to, I mean, going out to channel partner because they think they are a smaller company. So when should a company actually, a smaller company or a MSME actually think of taking channel partner as a strategy for their marketing? So this for the marketing and sales, of course, because we can't build our sales team overnight. It's a lot of money constraint that we face. So when should we actually think about going all out and using channel partner as a strategy?
So I think certain basic strategies need to be in place. For example, the offering should be well defined. The brand should be quite well defined, and the exact target customer should be well defined. Your pricing strategy should be well defined. You should have some amount of marketing support you can give the channel, because these things need to be in place. I think doing some initial sales, getting initial customers and successes is important before you think about going to the channel, because the channel is not going to kind of, like some people is like, sales is too painful, the channel will do it. No, the channel will not do it. First you need to figure out what works in sales. This is the product that works. It works at this price. It works when I pitch it to this kind of profile of customers. It works when I go and do a in-phase demo, or it works when I sell it online. It works, when I provide it with these value-added services. This all you need to be very clear about. And the messaging. What's the messaging you're going to give? So once those things are proven, I think you can then achieve scale with channel partners. But it will not happen that they will kind of help you to short circuit these things.
We have been using a lot of affiliate marketing right now as a channel partner strategy. So what other strategies apart from affiliate marketing? I don't know. I'm not sure whether everyone knows about affiliate marketing also or not. So can you please elaborate on what kind of channel partners are actually available for businesses?
Why don't you talk about how you've been using affiliates?
So we basically actually didn't have the desired money to build a sales team. So what we did was like we started using affiliate partners for our company. So we actually identified some people who were very quite famous in the ecosystem and people who were known in the industries and the B2B segment. So what we offer to them is a bit of a percentage of the sales or the recommendation, whatever they do for us. And that's how we are using affiliate marketing for us.
Wow. That's very interesting. Yeah. So there are many different types of arrangements, and like I said, we have a full workshop on the 29th where we discuss this. There are simple sales kind of arrangements, distribution. Some of the industrial sector, they want people to stock their products, so it's dealer, distributor, stockist. Those are some of the terms. In the software segment, people say that you need to be a partner. Then there are different types of partners. Audio and video is clear, right? Just confirming. Yeah. So different types of partners: implementation partners, support partners, development partners. So those are many different flavors of the kind of channels. Ecosystem is a little more complex, because ecosystem is like, you have to think really very deeply about what will give that value to the customer and where you can actually scale up. So for example, what role will you play? For example, I have a course on Udemy, right? So Udemy is a channel for me. I would normally, I have students from 45 countries. Now, normally I would not be able to, some of them, the actual realized revenue is, in single digit dollars, very small amounts. But But somebody in Poland or somebody in Ireland, I mean, normally I would not have got any revenue from there at all. So it's a way for me to scale, right? So that's interesting for me. And now what you need to consider is, should you be on a channel like Udemy, or do you want to create a Udemy? Because today we are seeing more and more people trying to create also, and all these unicorns and so on are in that stage. So that's what is going to provide the maximum value to the customer, and what role are you going to play in that? That's the decision you need to take.
So now that we have already talked about the kind of marketing strategies that are available. So how can a company actually create an appropriate sales channel that actually suits their business?
Yeah, so that's a lot of it's a large set of stuff to be done. And like I said, we do have a full workshop on next Saturday, the 29th. So this is what I'm going to just say in a nutshell. But like I said, we have the full 3-hour workshop on the Saturday, the 29th, to discuss this. So yeah, you need to define your channel partner strategy, then the ideal profile and requirements from them. Are you wanting them to have like an office or a shop, or are you wanting them to have a team? Are you wanting them to have some investment, stock your product, get trained, and so on? After that, you need to actually do some marketing to be able to sign up channel partners. So you need to reach out to these database that you've created through email, social media, ads, and reach out to potential partners. You need to have the right messaging. Why is your opportunity attractive? It has to be win-win for both. Then you start collecting their details, their documentation, sign contracts. But that's not where it ends. It doesn't end with signing contracts. You need to provide training and marketing collateral, and define the process for handshakes on sales and service. So when will they bring a lead? Who's going to answer that lead? Who's going to, in your company, take care of that lead, support them, help them to close, and so on? And plan joint marketing campaigns or lead gen to support the channel partners, because they do require that. They may have other products which are on their own, larger brands that have more demand in the market. So then they would end up like focusing more on those products. So you need to provide some kind of marketing air cover and provide ongoing management and support so that they remain motivated and effective. And I think that's all we can discuss today. But I'm happy to answer other questions. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Suhasini, for answering those questions. And I'm sure the workshop is going to be of a lot of value for companies. And I think this strategy is something that is going to stay for a long time.
Moitreyee, it was very interesting for me to hear about how you've used affiliate marketing. And I hope a lot of our other audience is able to benefit from understanding more about channels and ecosystems. And we have, just for everyone's knowledge, we generally do this, we've started doing this 4 p.m. on Thursdays. We will not be doing a live session next week because of Diwali. And we do have on Saturday, the 29th, we do have a 3-hour workshop on channels and ecosystems. So do come along for that and join us. And then we have a 6-week program on B2B growth. But now I wanted to ask a question, whether the 6-week program, we do 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays, or does like something intense like a 2 or 3 Saturday full day, whether that would be of more interest to people. Because with the 6-week program, people actually, what they discuss on the Saturday, they go back and they kind of apply it in their business. So they get a week to kind of apply all that. But if you just want to quickly get a download of the slides and the training content and everything, then we could also think about something like a boot camp, 2 Saturdays or 3 Saturdays. So any preference on that also we would like to hear from you all. Do let us know that. If anyone has any preference, let us know what would work better for you if it was about your business growth, whether you would prefer to spend 2 full Saturdays or 3 full Saturdays, or you would rather do it at a better pace over 6 weeks so that you can apply whatever you learned. So we looking for you to tell us that, and I will put an email out here, sales at MarketAxis sales@marketaxisconsulting.com. So yeah, let us know.
So the question is from Rolly. How is building client base a part of B2B growth channel?
The client base is actually what drives B2B growth. So everything we discuss, and there's a lot we discuss in that, including branding, including how to make good presentations, everything that we discuss in our entire journey of B2B Growth Essentials is about building client base. But channels can help you to achieve that faster and without adding sales team. If they have that reach to your target audience, if they have a network and they have also some credibility and standing in that target audience, then they may be able to build on that to get you that client base in a specific, it could be a specific segment, or it could be a specific geography that the particular channel partner is, strong at. So it's a very big question, but I gave it a very short answer.